All right, what's going on, Giants fans? Welcome to the Week 9 Offensive Line Report. Going to keep the intro quick because it's a longer one. First, we have Nick Gates on. We're not breaking down film with Nick Gates, but just checking in with him. He's always been good to us, so having him on. Thanks for coming in. Also, if you don't want to watch an interview with Nick Gates because you just watch a film and you're just a film junkie, and you don't enjoy smiling, skip the first 10 minutes, and then we're going to go through a segment through the run game. Very good stuff. Awesome stuff. It's so much fun to watch good run blocking offensive line. And then we're going to go through the pass blocking at the end, which is bad. So no individual player segments this week, but I think this is one of the O-line reports you can learn from a good amount. The run game was beautiful. So subscribe, all that good stuff. Here's a 10-minute interview with Nick Gates. All right, special guest on the O-line report this week, a member of the New York Giants offensive lineman, Nick Gates, checking in on you. Haven't seen you, haven't really heard from you since the injury from Washington. I mean, you haven't really had any, talking with the media. So how are you, and who let you walk the day after the injury?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I haven't got to be able to talk to media too much, but the doctor, they tell me they actually want you walking around and moving around, and they want you to get up and do it all. So the doctor wanted me on there, just moving around, walking.
That was, I'm sure you saw the post, but like when you posted that, it's like, oh my god, like this dude's a savage. Did you rewatch it? Because I rewatched it once, and then I was like, all right, I can't deal with this.
I actually did watch it on the way to the hospital from from when it happened. So
that leads me to my next question, because it seemed like everyone was heartbroken. Like we've never met, but it's like, we've followed you, covered you, talked with you here and there. It's like, I was heartbroken. I'm sure your family was, the whole fan base was. And then you're like smiling on the cart. Like, when did it like kind of hit you? Like, oh my god, like this is an actually serious injury, or was it just like walk us through that I'm down on the field where they immediately knew, and to like the next day.
Yeah. Initially it hurt really bad. Just it was shock, and like I rolled over and saw my leg hanging there, and then just started screaming. But once they set it back in place and put the air cast on, I kind of it didn't hurt that bad. Like it hurt, but it was just like, all right, finally under control. Like it's not like it's hanging or moving. That air cast keeps it secure. So I was like, oh, whatever. Like it is what it is. Like I can't do anything about it now, right? So
Yeah.
just thought I might as well try to smile and wave to the crowd and do what I had to do.
Yeah, the picture of you smiling coming off the field was pretty good. But but at the same time, it's like you see people go through that stuff, and it's like they're broken. Like you guys have seen it with Saquon going down, Dak. I mean, the guy's in tears. And
Yeah.
I'm not throwing shade at those guys. Like that's the same way I would be. But it was it's not funny to see you go, but it was funny. It's like, of course, Nick Gates is the one smiling on the cart coming off, and your agent was like saying you were laughing about it afterwards.
Right before I got in the X-ray machine, actually, yeah, I called him and was like, my leg snapped. I said other stuff, but
yeah,
it is what it is. We'll be back next year. And I was like, yeah. So
what's the rehab like right now? You're done with surgeries, I think you told me, but is it are you like in the facility, or are you like working with outside doctors and stuff?
no, I'm in the facility. I go in every day and do about 2 to 3 hours of rehab, and I'm just starting to walk again. Like not walk, but like in a treadmill. It's called Alter G. They take about up to like 80% of your body weight off, and just trying to get my ankle to move again. My ankle's the thing that's stiff right now, and with what I had compound syndrome. Compound syndrome. Is that right? Yeah. And it just my legs swollen, so they had to, that's been the kind of the thing what's been going on and taking me so long to start rehab and stuff. So I finally started a couple of weeks ago, and just slowly getting into it.
Did you catch the Nick Gates versus World? Because like I was hoping to get 100 tweets out of that. We're like on the pod. It's like, because I was thinking about like sending you like something in the hospital, but like he'll probably be out, and it's like he's sure he'll have enough people. I was like, all right, let's see if we can try and get this. I was like, let's get 100 people to do it, and then it became trending. Like, did you see that? Did you catch the article that Rosenblatt wrote about that?
I actually didn't catch the article, but I saw you posted something about it, or it popped up on one of the news feeds when I was laying in the bed. But yeah, I saw it. It was pretty cool. Appreciate everybody, and all the prayers and all my following and stuff like that. You guys are awesome. So
Oh, it got people were annoyed by the end of it. It's like, all right, can I look at Twitter because every single Giants fan was
yeah,
tweeting Nick Gase versus the world.
yeah,
So it was pretty cool to see it trending. But at the same time, like I think that kind of speaks to, when you were named captain, everyone was like, man, guy went from undrafted to like, and we talked about it with your interview. Undrafted to missing your first year usually means out of the league. Like that's usually, I mean,
yeah.
undrafted in general, but then to go from, a spot starter to full-time starter at a position you never played and then captain. So that was, I thought that was a kind of like a cool way to like, all right, that's, show Nick what the fan base thinks of him.
Yeah, it was awesome. Just kept being from where I came from and to making it to now, it's just been, crazy. And, hopefully I could play for another, 5-6 years and, make it to year 10 and do what I got to do. But just gotta, get back to next year before I could, start doing that.
Daniel Jones goes down in that Dallas game, and Jabril Cox puts out an Instagram story. Like, I don't know if you saw that, but was that the most you missed being out on the field? Was that single moment right there? Because I know, like, you were, getting into the scruffs with everyone after.
Yeah, I didn't really see what was said and everything. I think I kind of heard, but it sucks. But I miss being out there with the guys and just protecting everybody and protecting Daniel and just having fun. Just being out there is fun. Like talking mess to the other guys and just I enjoy doing that. Like getting in people's faces. I just find it fun. Like so I do miss being out there and getting into it with people.
I don't know how much you're around. What do you think of Kadarius? Because I mean, we've fallen in love with the dude from the Dallas game. He played well in general, but it's like, dude, you throw a punch in a game, and it just, I don't know why, but it's maybe my personality, but it's like, all right, now we're in love with you. And I don't know if you see some of the posts we put of his interviews, but his interviews are maybe the best thing the team's got going right now. The way he just has his interviews are like, if I asked you like, how's the leg? And he just would look like you looked at me and just laughed at me like I just am useless. Like those are like, the fan base has grown to love the kid like crazy. What do you got any impressions of Kadarius?
He's a good kid. He's funny. Once he breaks out of his shell, which he's kind of has, he's a funny kid, good kid. I haven't really talked to him much. I haven't been around too much, and just being out. So he's I hear a couple stories here and there, but yeah, he's a good kid, funny kid.
Yeah, I mean the fan base is I mean I thought you were playing well up into that Rams game, but then it's like, all right, he basically got into a fight in mid game with Aaron Donald, and that's like when the fan base kind of got on your side, went from like, okay, he's all right to like, all right, we really like this guy.
Exactly.
How's the fam? Because like I said, like it seemed like everyone was heartbroken around you. Is your mom like staying with you and helping you out right now?
Yeah. So my mom, she came like a couple days right after the surgery, after we figured out what was going to happen and everything. So she came and been with me ever since. So she stayed in the hospital with me for the 2 weeks I was there, and then what else? She came back and has been living with me ever since. So she's the best. Get tired of her sometimes, but I love hanging out with her, having her here, and it's nice. I haven't been able to hang out with her like this since I was in high school. So
Right. Yeah, I hear you on that. I was talking with your brother the week that you had the interview with Art. And I told him, when you bring up his concrete business, you got to give the name. We got to give, you just played the Raiders in Las Vegas. You got to give him any interview you go on. You got to give a free ad for his concrete business.
That is true. I forget about it. It's 4G Concrete out of Vegas. So
4G Concrete in Las Vegas.
Yeah, 4G Concrete. So
there you go, free ad. I want to apologize for cutting my hair. Well, I was trying to get Shane on, and I was just. Which I would have felt really embarrassed, but I couldn't deal with it, man. It's just, it just gets messy, and especially we're on camera, like every day it seems now. And it was like, if I went 5 hours, I went outside for an hour, it was messy. And I just got over it. So I'm not as strong as, guys like you, Shane, Cullen, or even, LPG Joe. But mine was better than yours guys anyway, so I think it's nice to give you guys keep the shine on your guys' hair.
I don't know. Probably I got some thin hair up here. It's starting to go, but Shane's hair, he has some good hair. He has some good hair. So
I don't know how Joe's done it his whole life. I think that's part of my issue is it's too thick where it was just like it just become clumpy and
It gets
everything.
hot, and you're down in Florida too. It's humid and hot, and it sucks. Like I remember being
Yeah.
in Vegas. I'd go back to Vegas and visit the family, and I'm like, it's horrible. And I keep it up like this half the time, like
Yeah.
in a bun and doing.
I should have
I'll
trimmed
just
it
keep
to
away.
where I could do like, a bun, but like
Yeah.
the way I was doing it now, it was like, falling forward and I do the hairband and it was just like, it looks
Yeah.
nice for like 2-3 hours, but it was like, 21 of, it's like I can't roll down the passenger window in my truck because the wind will start blowing hair in my face. I'm like, I don't know how women do it their whole life, not only just having it, but like you said, you could, tie it up. You don't have to worry about it looking too nice.
Yeah, but still, it sucks. It's a pain in the butt. Like driving on the street and stuff, yeah, and then you find it everywhere too. You notice that you find it like you should be cooking and you be eating food and you just get a hair and you're like, all right, whatever.
Oh, well, you bring up your mom coming over. Like I keep my house pretty clean, but it's like it's never like mom's standard of clean. So she'll come over like for 30 minutes and then all of a sudden start sweeping, being like, "There's hair all over. You need to sweep behind your desk and all this." Like, all right, but so I'm glad I'm not dealing with that. It's the Florida sun. It kind of sucks too. So I'll let you go. I said I didn't want to take up too much of your time. Anything you want to say before you roll out? I know it's been a while. I'm sure you miss playing. Anything like you want to say to the fan base?
I just appreciate everybody, all the support you guys, the prayers and everything. And, I read some of your guys' comments and stuff like that, tweets you guys sent out. And I really appreciate it. And you guys are awesome. So thank you.
All right, good stuff. All right, thanks Nick Gates for coming on. That was always cool of him. He doesn't need to do that stuff like you said. It's not through the Giants. He just does it because he's a good dude. So it was good to check in with him. But now let's get into the offensive line play. The reason why you guys tune into these O-line reports. And for the first time all year, we get to talk glowingly about the run game. I mean, they ran the ball. When they handed the ball off, they averaged 5.1 yards per carry, had 130 yards on the ground. They have not done that. Daniel Jones finally got overtaken as the team's leading rusher. We got 9 good running, block run plays that we're going through. There are some other decent ones, but that has not been a part of this Giants offense this year. And we do our game previews, not just the film review stuff. And it's like, just because this team might not be a great run defense, we can't rely on the run game. You just can't. This was the one week, okay, the Raiders are a bad run defense. This might be a game where you can run the ball, and that's what they did. So let's go through those 9 plays and see how it happened. So early in the game, this ends up being a 5-yard gain. Again, a 5-yard gain like this is beautiful. And you got Jumbo. You put Kyle Rudolph in motion. Corey Cunningham, the swing tackle. He's the swing tackle since Thomas is out. And Will Hernandez and Nate Solder make this play. They're doubling. Now, Solder takes a false step. But they're hip to hip and getting movement. I'm telling you, they have not gotten movement up front all year long. So you're starting here and you're moving this guy back here. Will Hernandez does a great job peeling off to this linebacker. Times it up perfectly. Corey Cunningham, is this a great block? No. But he's able to get his, not allow the defensive end to cross his face. Caden Smith holds his block. And now you got yourself a hole. Whereas, this play, every other game, this guy, he's stuck here. Like, it's all right in the running back's lap, and you get 5 yards out of it. Next play, we're going to get a nice 18, close to 20-yard chunk out of this. Movement. So what do we got up here? We got one-on-one, double to this backer. Double to this backer. Backside, Solder does a bad job on this, but he's on the backside, so it doesn't matter. Matt Parrott and Matt Skura. The Mats. Movement. Anytime you are doubling to the linebacker, and you walk, and I get that's the linebacker's, playing up quick, or safety, or whatever 42 is. You create a hole. I mean, we're moving from here, and Matt Parrott, using his strength, using his athleticism, move it. Good job by Caden Smith and Kyle Rudolph on the back end. and you got yourself a hole to run straight through. No decision making, just go, 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 go. And that's beautiful stuff. Good double by Price and Hernandez. Go, 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 go. Here, we're going to run a little Evan Ingram ISO. So I got Ingram as the lead blocker. And again, is this perfectly blocked? No. But no, if any play was perfectly blocked, we'd be dealing with what we had on that last play, where you get a 20-yard gain. You would expect like one block to not be messed up, or to be messed up and the running back can make the play. The Giants have just not been able to block at all up front, where it's multiple guys having bad blocks. So what do we got on this? You got Evan Ingram as the lead blocker up on this backer. Hernandez here, Solder here. They're doubling to this linebacker pair, and then he's the unblocked player. So good job by Parrott. Good job on these two. Doubling to the linebacker. I mean, really good job by these guys. Again, is this the prettiest? No. But moving. Getting movement. Getting movement. Getting movement. Right into this linebacker. Good job. Evan Ingram, lead blocker. Good job. Solder blocking the backside. Good job. And then Hernandez is the one who has a bad play. He allows that guy to get across his face. But Booker makes the cut off of it. You have the one unblocked player. You get 6 yards. You get 6 yards. Because you can make a cut off of one bad block. 6 yards. 6-yard gain. That's amazing for what the Giants have had. Here, bad run fit by the defense. Put the wide receiver Colin Johnson in motion. Big gain, 21 yards. Again, Solder influencing up here. Doubling to here. These linebackers all play up. Perriman's playing the outside. And this safety, and this is why safeties are bad linebackers, instead of filling this hole, he pops out here. So again, is there any great blocks on this play? Not really. Price and Hernandez do their job. These two move their guys, but Parrott falls. But you don't have any bad blocks. And so the defense makes one mistake, and you got 21 yards. And the Giants have not been able to make mistakes. Safeties are gonna fill their run fits wrong. But the Giants have had such bad blocking all year that they haven't been able to take advantage of those mistakes. They take advantage of it there. Here, only get a few yards on this one. But this is more on Booker than it is the offensive line. Not a great block by Hernandez, but an okay. Actually, no, that's not a good block. But you got them doubling to Perriman. Get washed up in it. But what Booker is reading is he wants to, because he sees this player playing this gap. But he plays inside. This corner plays out. So he presses on that. Where in reality, Booker should see that, he should kind of see these guys and just hit this hole and get these 4 or 5 yards. But again, not giving any penetration. You get 2-3 yards of push that even if a bad read, he runs into the back of you and into your guys' backs, you get 2-3 yards out of that. And again, the Giants haven't been able to do that all year long. Now we got some Elijah Penny reps. We got our fullback getting reps. Giants run read option. 4 yards. Paired with the run out. Good job. Matt Skura, Billy Price. Doubling, moving this player off the ball into the linebacker, or 40, whatever number 42 is, probably a safety, into there. Great job by Will Hernandez and Nate Solder on this double to linebacker. Will Hernandez goes to give that help because Nate Solder has to cross his face. Nate Solder crosses his face, hinges. Will Hernandez up to the linebacker. Bam. You have the read option player who's unblocked. You get 4 yards. That's what the read option does, is you can get those 4 or 5 yard pops, even when the box is loaded up. 4 or 5 yards. Now they're trying to seal the game. You got inside zone with Elijah Penny, your fullback. 11 yards. Again, this is fun. Watching an offensive line run block well is the most fun thing you can do watching offensive line. Because it's beautiful. And it's been a pain in the ass to watch the Giants O-line all year because they haven't done it. But they did it in this game. So we got inside zone. They stun it. They pick it up. Solder gives Hernandez the help. Peels off. Billy Price plays down on this. Not the greatest block, but gets enough of a piece of him. And Matt Parrott, Matt Skura. You got the read player, keeping him still by Daniel Jones. Matt Skura does a great job helping, turning his hips, allows Matt Parrott to, doesn't get fully across his face, but get enough. Pop off to linebacker, and you have your fullback getting an 11-yard carry when they know you kind of want to run the ball at the end of the game. And this is beautiful stuff. Let's run inside zone again. Under center. Penny makes one guy miss, and now you're getting 12 yards. Backside, their work, 3 versus 3. Good job by Parrott. Good job by Skura. Good job by Billy Price. Beautiful stuff on the backside. Good job by Hernandez. Decent job by Hernandez. And then you got Nate Solder and Corey Cunningham. Move them. Move that line down. Up until linebacker. Corey Cunningham comes off. Kyle Rudolph. This is the O-line report, not the tight end report, but good job moving this down. So you got one player. One player to miss. When they're in the film room, it's like, hey, we got these guys. That guy's on you, running back. That guy's on you, fullback. And King Penny gets his ass. I mean, this was beautiful to watch all game long. I'm frustrated with the way they ran on the first down rate with the, but that's a bigger picture thing. But this is the first time all year I've had fun watching the Giants offensive line run block. And they were expected to be a good run blocking team, but then they lose a Nick Gates, they lose a Shane Lemieux, and then they lose an Andrew Thomas. But good on them this game. Like, they as a group run blocked well, and it showed up. They averaged over 5 yards a pop running the ball. So good stuff on the Giants O-line in the run game this week. Let's finish it off with 7 plays of pass pro, and it certainly wasn't good, so I'm not going to paint it as good. But I also do want to bring a little bit of context of how they're pass blocking with Andrew Thomas out and having Parrott and Solder as their starting tackle. So again, not going to defend them as good, but also going to explain what's happening with them. And what I'll say is super frustrating because there's a lot of, things with Jason Garrett. It's like, well, the offensive line isn't good. They're not able to throw the ball downfield. One, I just don't buy that in general. We're not asking for you to, have the greatest show on turf. But they shouldn't have called the game as conservative as they did. And running on first down is a big reason why. And we just showed the running game was good. But they threw the ball on all 3 first downs in the first drive of the game. They scored a touchdown. They ran the ball really well the rest of the game, but they only scored 9 points the rest of the game. In fact, 3 of those were because of an interception at the end of the game from Xavier McKinney. After that first drive, 16 of their 19 first downs were run calls. And what is first down? First down is a down where they don't know if you're passing or running. So they can't pin their ears back. And you know what? If they cover stuff up deep quickly, well, you get it out to the checkdowns. So it's kind of frustrating. It's like this offensive line isn't good, but they're not put in positions to succeed and to be able to give the offense big plays. And big plays is what scores points on offense. All right, let's get into the film. We got 7 plays. First rep isn't bad. But this, I'm going to, explain what this is. Jones checks down. I want you to count Jones' steps. So he's got the right foot back stance. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. A 4-step drop, which is essentially, a 3-step drop. which means the ball's supposed to come out quick. You're not setting deep. And with the tackles, you see everything fans out, from the inside out. And it's 1, 2, try and, stop them right here, but you can wash them around the corner. You see Nate Solder washes him around the corner. Ball out. Good, Parrott holds down versus the bull rush. Good stuff. Now here's the strip sack. Now this is bad by both these tackles. But also it messes with the QB. And it's, if it's the blocking's not great, it kind of screws things up because this play is 1, 2, 3, 4. The ball's supposed to be out. But they do a good job covering this up, and there's a defender over here, for Ingram, and they do a great job covering the drag on Toney. So you see Jones is like, oh, I need to cover it up because this I'm gonna get hit. Like, I know the offensive line is coming, not because they did a bad job, but because they're not protecting to give me 3-4 seconds. It's very like, all right, they're washing guys around the corner, so I need to protect it. And he goes to protect the ball, but he's too late on it. But with that being said, with them being in the wash around the corner, this is a bad job by both Matt Parrott and Nate Solder. I mean, Matt Parrott, you lean, you don't punch, you leave that back open for that swim move. Your feet are a mess. And Ngakoue is able to come and get himself a strip sack. Jones feels it. But it still ends up, the ball comes out. Like, that's just, bad feet, hands, and leaning. And then with Nate Solder on this side, mistimes the punch a little bit. But opens the gate so much that now Crosby's able to spin out of it. And if Matt Parrott ends up doing a great job on this one, well, there's still, it's still ending up being a sack. Because you open your hips up too much. Strip sack. 3 points for the other team. Next play. Again, you're seeing this is supposed to be this quick stuff. Jones gets it to the check down. But Matt Parrott just gets bull rush. And this doesn't happen to Matt Parrott, so I'm not going to get like, what is Matt Parrott doing? Because he doesn't get beat by bull rushes, but he does on this rep. Now, this is where him being able to punch more instead of just placing his hands. If you punch, get your hands ready, get them up higher, and punch. Get into his chest plate. Get those hands off of you. But instead, it's just Ngakoue's able to get in, use all his leverage, bench press him, bull rush him to the QB. Jones gets the ball out to the check down. Next rep, this is a sack. This is frustrating. I'm going to go over this play a lot more in the film review. This could have been a touchdown on 4 verts. And at first, I made a breakdown of being like, this has to be a touchdown from Daniel Jones. And I still think it might need to be. But I also am like, this might have been a strip sack if he throws to where he should have thrown. And to break it, let's just break it down on the offensive line. This is on Matt Skura. They're trying to run a stunt here. But Ngakoue realizes, it's like, oh, Parrott's taking this. His hips are all the way open. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go around the corner. Like, this is supposed to be a stunt. But Skura doesn't slide his feet over. He's playing the half man, so he's in a bad situation where these two should be hip to hip on this. Skura should be blocking 77. Parrott should be blocking 91. And if they stunt, you pass it off. They should be hip to hip on this. But Skura opens his hips, doesn't play the full man, and Parrott has to pick that up, And so Ngakoue gets a free rush. Now here's the thing. Ingram is open down the seam. They're running 4 verts. But at the same time, like he has to move the safety with his eyes, and you'll see this more in the film review. So, bam, snap, now it's time to throw. I timed it out. It's like 0.1. This probably ends up being a strip sack, you know. So, and something I've talked about, you know, in general, is because Daniel Jones touchdowns are low, is like, hey, I get that, but find me the, you know, a lot of Giants fans, Giants analysts do all 22 film. I've challenged you, find me the touchdowns he's leaving on the field, and I was ready to be like, hey, this is one, but this might be a strip sack. If he pulls the trigger on this, this might end up being a strip sack. You know, I timed this out. It's 0.16 seconds. You know, and you'll see it on the film review, but it's frustrating. You know, could have been a touchdown. Next one. Actually, good job overall on the offensive line on this. This was a 3rd and long, cover 0 blitz, which means they're blitzing everyone and playing man coverage. Good job by everybody besides Will Hernandez picking up the blitz. I mean, Will Hernandez, like, I get your help out here, but you got to see 39 coming. And he does eventually, but he's just too late, and he ends up hitting a big hit on Daniel Jones. Like, you got to know that's a nickel corner. You got to be ready to come off of that. But everyone else does a good job. Like, Matt Parrott's washing Ngakoue around the edge. Well, offensive line-wise, they do a good job. Skura and Billy Price do a good job picking up the stunt. Nate Solder gets spun out of, but it's enough time on a cover 0 blitz for guys to get open. And Booker whiffs on his block too. But this isn't the running back report. 3rd and 8. Ends up being a first down. Parrott gets beat inside. 1-2. Watch that right foot. That right foot's not ready to power down. Instead, it swings back. And the freaking film is bad quality, so it's not giving me good frame rate, but essentially opening up a path to the quarterback. Instead of playing a square, and it's like, okay, got inside move, let me just put this right foot down. Like, if this right foot goes from here, and you can anchor off this left foot to here, it shuts it down. But because it doesn't, his footwork is bad. Ends up getting a QB hit on Jones. You know, and this is the pressure now. It's 3rd and long, so they're pinning their ears back and not worrying about, you know, contain. But it is what it is. And this was a 3rd down sack at towards the end of the game. I mean, this is just really bad out of Solder and Parrott again. And again, let's read Jones's feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's supposed to be a quick concept, even though it's 3rd down. Parrott leans, doesn't punch, feet stop moving, and Ngakoue gets a free run at the quarterback. Nate Solder. Now, that's Crosby. Crosby does a good job swiping those hands off of him. But again, Solder's feet are stopping on the punch. Then they're skipping together. Jones is forced to scramble. And Billy Price's guy's giving the hip, but that's not bad on Billy Price. I do like Hernandez giving a little chip on Ngakoue. Throwing the ball out, kick a field goal. 3 points. 3 points. So, encouraging stuff in the run game. That being said, I wouldn't put too much into it because the Raiders are really bad at run defense. You know, their defensive tackles are more pass rushers than they are run defenders. So, and that with playing safeties down the box, you're going to get ran on. The Raiders have gotten run on all year long. And in the past game, I'm so looking forward to getting Andrew Thomas back on these videos. I really am. I can't wait to watch Andrew Thomas again. And this should be the last game that Nate Solder starts for the Giants if Andrew Thomas is back, by the way. I know what we just saw of Matt Parrott isn't great, but Matt Parrott should be the starting right tackle going forward. So, appreciate it. Like, subscribe. Shoot a tweet at Nick Gates saying thanks for coming on the O-Line Report, all that good stuff. See you on the next videos. Check out all our other stuff. Let's go, Big Blue.